All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience this evening. It is now time for the most exciting event in networking, the Bright Ideas Show. Please give a big hand to Spencer Kilgore. All right, cut me out.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Bright Ideas Show. How were the table discussions today? Nice. Everybody got to know each other a little bit better? That's awesome, because this is one of my favorite events to attend because it's an opportunity to get to know people in a little bit more of an intimate environment. We get to spend a little more time learning about who we are and not just about what we do. It makes the difference to know the people behind the positions. So tonight, the speakers have 3, 6, and 9 minutes to deliver their speeches, because we want our speakers to bring the heart of their message to us. We'll also be having a random guest being selected from the audience for an interview live. So if you didn't get your orange ticket, raise your hand so we can get one over to you. Don, got it. Anybody else? All right. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our host, Ryan. He is the idea guy and co-founder of InspireSmall.biz. He and his wife, Carly, started this organization with the vision that everyone has a skill that could transform something they are passionate about into a thriving small business. He is also an active member of the Indianapolis East Rotary Club and governor-elect for Rotary District 6560 here in central Indiana. And Ryan, the other day you told me you are the youngest governor when you get sworn in Indiana ever in the Rotary's history. I mean, he might know, right? He might know a thing or two about what he's doing, just saying. But most importantly, he's a husband and a dad to a beautiful little girl named Riley. So pretty much what it comes down to is Ryan can't get rid of me or I can't get rid of Ryan, because as long as Riley's under 18, he's stuck with me. Because Riley's worth it, trust me. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to Ryan Henry.
Awesome. Thank you, Pavithri. Good evening, everyone. So welcome to the Bright Ideas Show. This event is part of InspireSmall.biz, an organization where we bring entrepreneurs together so that they can grow their business, they can learn the new skills that are necessary to keep things going, and make new connections, because business is so much easier when you have that I got a person. I got a person that does insurance. I got a person that can help me express gratitude to my clients. I got someone that can fix my car when it won't stop. There'll be more about that story later. I don't want to spoil the ending to that because it's quite funny, honestly. But what makes the Bright Ideas Show different is that we have our daytime events where everyone gets up and gives their elevator pitch. Hi, I'm Ryan. This is what I provide. These are the people that I help. Please buy from me. This event is meant to be something different. Everybody sitting in this room has some kind of life experience or story that could inspire someone else when they share it. And the purpose of this event is to help people get those stories out so that when our time here together this evening is done, we walk out of the room knowing those people just a little bit better than we did when they came in here. And that's important because we buy from people that we know, like, and trust. We want to make sure that the people we're buying from are using that revenue to take care of their family, to accomplish whatever goals it is that they have, and not just about the transaction of, I need a product, you provide it, here's some money, here's my product, I'll see you next time. So with that, we're going to get to 3 incredible speakers tonight about trust. All 3 of them, I know all 3 of our speakers pretty well, and I know their presentations are going to be pretty damn good. And I'd like to recognize... That's all right. We live for those moments. But first, it's extremely important that I recognize some people that help make this event a success. Because I'm just one person, Carly's just one person, and if you haven't noticed, this event takes a hell of a lot of people to make it work. So please give a big hand to John Cannon, Pavithri Kilgore, and Ray Mills. Because without this event, or without their help, this event just wouldn't happen, or it'd be a freaking train wreck. So the talents and skills of these folks help make sure that we're able to put on a really good event for you here so that you don't walk out of here and go, man, screw this, I can do something else. No, we want you to say, that was awesome, I'm gonna be here next month. I'm gonna be to every event you're doing, and that's what we want. So we're gonna get to our 3-minute speaker here in just a moment, but before we do, Ray Mills over here at the media desk has an incredible offer that he's gonna be doing here in, just like 2 weeks now, I think, right? So we had some fun at my office a couple of weeks ago after Business Spotlight, and while we can't show you the full video, we're gonna put it up on Facebook later, but we took the part that was work appropriate, and we're gonna put it up here for you to watch. So Ray, let's make that happen.
Hey everyone, Ryan Henry here with InspireSmall.biz, and I'm here to share with you an exciting event coming up on September 4th and September 5th. Ray Mills with RM Media is going to be right here at the InspireSmall.biz office to help you get a professional quality video produced just in time for Small Business Saturday. For just $200, you can have a video where you're talking about the products or services that you offer and how customers can take advantage of it. Make sure to click the link in the description because spots are going fast. The best part is it only takes 1 week to get that video back, and you can use it on your website, YouTube, or social media channels anywhere that you post to promote your business. So make sure that you book that spot today.
Trust, right? I have to say, like Ryan, I happen to know the 3 speakers today quite well, and I find it quite ironic that all 3 of them have trusted me to introduce them. And what they don't know is I may or may not have edited their intros a little bit. So, our 3-minute speaker today is Spencer, also known as my husband. He is a United States Navy veteran. He served on the USS England before he was medically retired. After his military service, he spent most of his professional life in the world of IT. Spencer considers his greatest accomplishments to be his 2 daughters, and I'd have to agree with him, Megan and Madeline. Although recently, that title has been stolen by his almost 1-year-old grandson, Keegan. Spencer has been married to Pavitri, that's me, for 15 years. Yeah. And enjoys helping me with the company stuff. I mean, he is in IT, so who am I going to trust more, right? Plus, he gets paid in hugs and kisses, and it's free labor, so works for me. Spencer thinks his best attribute is his humor. But as I keep reminding him, it's a good thing I find him cute because he's not funny. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why trust is so important in life, because you want to have a partner you can be honest with. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Spencer Kilgore.
Sorry, I should have brought my Sherpas up here because I bring a lot with me. Okay, trust. Trust is the foundation upon which all healthy relationships. Oh, that's where we're going. Okay. You're switching it up on me. I got to remember what I wrote. I got to remember what I wrote exactly. Actually, Albert Einstein said, if it gets, he's quoted as saying, "Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important ones." For such a small word in the English language, it carries quite a bit of responsibility in everything we do. Trust is the foundation upon which all healthy relationships are built, whether they're personal, professional, or even societal. Trust is in short supply today, it seems. But what trust am I speaking of? People trust their phones to always work, even if they have especially if they have a signal. People trust their government to take care of them, keep the good stuff in and the bad stuff away from them, feel safe. Keep the good stuff, we trust our doctors to always have our best interest and do right by us. I'm sure everybody feels that way. I don't know that I do right now, but it is the day-to-day trust we place in each other and those with authority without even thinking what makes the difference. When we place our trust in someone, we are giving them our confidence, our vulnerabilities, and our expectations. Trust is something that must be earned and respected. We take it for granted, yet it's something that once lost is incredibly difficult to get back. As a veteran, I'm told that I don't trust anyone and that I'm skeptical of everyone, which is probably true to a point. I, on the other hand, call it common sense caution. 2 daughters, Trust is good, but not always, certainly not with everyone and everything. Trust is not built overnight. It's earned over time through our actions and our behavior. When we trust someone, we feel comfortable between our true selves without the need to put up walls or hide behind masks. When we can be our authentic self is when we know we trust someone to the full extent possible. When we trust someone, we respect their opinions, their boundaries, and their individuality. We acknowledge their needs and desires, and we are willing to compromise and collaborate to ensure that both parties feel valued and understood. We must strive to be truthful in our interactions throughout our commitments. And trust is not built overnight. It is earned over time through our actions and our behavior. Trust is an extremely powerful force that can strengthen relationships, foster collaboration, create a sense of security and belonging, or completely tear down the very fabric of our society. Let us all strive to earn the trust of those around us and to respect it as the invaluable gift that it is. Thank you. I'm hung up.
Forgot you did. There we go. Awesome. Another hand for Spencer. All right. So now it is time for a segment that Pavithri does here. That when we got the idea to do this, we had a good laugh because who here, just by a show of hands, has ever had a really shitty work experience? Bad boss, just terrible customers. So you got a lot of potential clients out there, Pavithri. So this segment is called How Not to Get Sued. And Pavithri is going to come up here and she's going to surprise us all because I have no idea what she's about to talk about. So everyone give Pavithri a hand.
So, you need to turn his mic too, because we're going to torture him today.
I've been cut off.
I mean, can you blame him?
Oh, well.
I mean, there's a reason why Ray spent so much time bleeping your videos out, right? So, what I wanted to do today was actually stay on the topic of trust this month and talk about how easy it is to get in trouble at work as an owner, a leader, or a manager when you lose the trust of your employees and customers. So, who here has had an experience where they have had a manager or an employer lie to them while they're employed? Right? How did that make you feel? Did you stay at that job? Most of us do, but it creates for a really crappy environment. I was doing a presentation today and I asked, what's the difference between an unhappy marriage and an unhappy work environment? There isn't one, right? How do you get out of that? These are the things that most employers don't want to tell you, but you have a right to know. Did you know that you can sue your employer for false promises, misleading statements, can land an employer in court for negligent misrepresentation, fraudulent inducement, or other legal issues? And guess what? You do not need to have an employee agreement or a contract. It does not need to be in writing. You can make a verbal statement in recruiting. It can be an email. It can be a meeting. It can be a very informal text message. The bane of my existence is text messages in employment. Be careful what you say and do, whether it's a customer or an employee. Because once you say it out there, it's out there. Sometimes we oversell what we're able to provide for a customer or what potential an employee has when they join our companies. Besides all the legal trouble you can get in, you lose the goodwill, right? How long does it take for us to build our reputation? Takes just one bad act, an unintentional moment to destroy it all. So, government agencies, they love to find employers job postings that may be slightly exaggerated. And they're going to go find out, have they lied to the employee? Are they honest about the job that they are posting about? And has the employee actually received what the job posting said? Believe it or not, these government agencies do proactively look for it. They actually have people that sit and do nothing but read Indeed, LinkedIn, Monster. Wait, does Monster still exist? any kind of job board there is. And for anyone who thinks posting jobs on Craigslist is safe or Facebook is safe, it is not. You have to be very careful when you are recruiting in social media. So, I say all that to say, please be careful in what you say and do, because it doesn't have to be in writing to come back and bite you. You go.
Awesome. Thank you, Pavithri. So it is time to introduce our 6-minute speaker this evening. Marty is a seasoned photographer and storyteller. He's not just going to take your picture. He's going to tell your story. And he's going to put that story up on social media. He's been married for 52 years to the love of his life and forever bride. He still remembers what she was wearing the night that they met. He still plays guitar and bass at church, and one of these days we're going to jam. We're going to have to. So he is also the author. So photographer, musician wasn't quite enough, but an author of a book called Get Married Once, Do It Right. He's currently working on his second book about adult mental illness. Not about what you think it is, but he's also got a third book in the works too. I like your style, multiple fires burning at once. So everyone, please give a big hand to tonight's 6-minute speaker, Marty Moran.
Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that. You know, I will say something about trust, because trust is something that you earn over the long haul. And today we are built around skepticism. Everything is skeptic. We're born with a skepticism switch inside of us. And everything about our life is, I don't trust you, I don't trust this person, I don't trust that person. And there's a good reason for that, because people have let us down, correct? So I will say this, I have a foundation that starts with God. And my roots are firmly planted in the Bible. And one of the things that I like is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. I think that's a very important thing. And that principle is what I try. Now, mind you, I'm just as human as you guys are. We have our failures, we have our flaws. But the truth is, personally and professionally, I try to treat people with respect. For example, if I'm going to meet with a lady, I will do it at her location, because I want to build a relationship that's going to be honorable to her too. So if I have to drive someplace, I will drive to you to do that. But I will say this. First off, when we're selling, it's like, I got to sell, got to sell, got to sell. So we make promises sometimes that we're going to break. I don't want to break promises. I've been married a long time to my wife. I don't want to break a promise to her, because I know that one little break of that promise breaks her heart. So if I tell you that I'm going to call you, I'm going to call you. And you know what I do? Some people will say, I'm going to call you, and then they forget to completely call. It goes onto my phone. You all have phones. Use them. You know, don't expect trust to magically appear. It will not come to you. But here's the thing. I think this is a really important part about trust. It doesn't grow in the dark. If you know what that means, then you know what that means. It grows out of transparency. If you're a transparent person, when I talk with somebody, have you ever met someone, and when you're talking to them, you're trying to build this relationship, and all of a sudden, we talked about it at our table a little bit more, is that there's a point in this conversation where their heart takes a turn, and you know they've let you in a little bit more, and that means there's trust building. That means don't take advantage of that trust. Now, I've been married 52 years to my wife. That's one of the most wonderful accomplishments of my life. My photography, I've been doing that for 50 years, but I've been married for 52. I will say that my marriage is number one, and when I keep secrets from my wife, I hurt her. So I will tell you that if you want to build a strong foundation with people, you got to keep trust. Trust is earned in the long haul. One thing about me, when I first met her, she was damaged by her father. I don't mind telling you, she was damaged severely. And I loved her, but there was no trust toward me. I was just like her dad. You ladies know what I'm talking about if you've been damaged. So, but he hurt her deep, and I had a mountain to climb. That mountain was almost sometimes more than I could handle because I saw the damage. But I will tell you what, it took years of consistent love to her for that trust to come in. And now she can tell me, we have the best conversations now. And I think a lot of times in marriages, people give up before the healing starts. And then they give up. And if you just wait a little bit longer, you might see the door turn. You might see this thing turn. But it helped her heal, and it built a trust in that. But it would happen because, like trust, built in the long game. So, I realized after 52 years of marriage that I've earned a right to speak about it. That's trust. I can tell you right now that if I really talk to the room, I will talk to guys. And my book is, like I said, I brought my copy of my book here, but Get Married Once, Do It Right. It's kind of tough on guys because guys don't do the right thing by ladies because ladies have different things that they go through, and guys go, they look, cock their head and don't know what they're talking about. But it's because we're guys, and we don't want to give our ladies the understanding to learn a little bit more about them. That's how trust is built. And I think people throw in you want to go back? I think people throw in the towel too soon. And divorce rates, when I wrote this book, divorce rate, I did the research, divorce was at 55%. Now that's pretty ugly, isn't it? And you know what? I'm working on a second book or a third book it's going to be on marriage at another level. And the thing is, the divorce rate has even increased since then, and that saddens me. So a good marriage takes time. It takes time to heal. Now, next slide. Thank you. Or there. I've got my notes. Okay. Anybody a hippie, 60s? Janis Joplin, she wrote a song, or sang a song, Piece of My Heart, take another little piece of my heart. I will tell you that when we start taking if I start taking a piece of my wife's heart, I break her heart. And I don't want to break her heart. I don't want to take her heart. I don't want to break her heart. I want to love her heart. That's what I try to do. Now, I'm probably going to move on a little bit faster in this thing. Because I brought my notes with me a little bit, too. It's not that I don't trust Pavitri. See, it's trust. Isn't that the subject? And I will say just for a couple of things. I've learned to shut my pie hole, but I'm going to close it down because I only got a few seconds left, but I'm going to close it with this. If you want to start, you want trust. Start by being someone who can be trusted. Trust isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And I want you to be in it for the long haul. And that's what I want to do, not only in my marriage, but in my business relationship with you people in here. That's all I got to say. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Marty. All right, so now it is time for a fun segment, John Cannon's My Car Care tip. And before he comes up here, I want to share. So last week, I'm not exactly the most, keep up with the maintenance on my car. I get in, I start it, I drive, I go where I got to go, I park it, sometimes badly. And so last week on Thursday, I texted and said, John, I think I need to get my car in for brakes. And he texts back, your brakes are grinding, aren't they? And you need to get in tomorrow. And I'm like, no, they're not bad yet, that bad. They're making a little bit of noise, but they're not grinding yet. But I'll be darned. He texted me back. He's like, well, I can get you in tomorrow afternoon, which, Friday afternoon, it's like the stereotypical, oh, my God, I have an emergency. I need it done now. But luckily, John got me in. I got up there about 1:30, 2 o'clock. I was there for 90 minutes. His guys put new brakes and rotors on my car, got me back on the road. So for that, there's a lot of places that would go, no, you have to make an appointment. We have to order these parts. We have to figure this stuff out. No, John. It's just like, no, your parts are here. We'll get your car fixed and get you back on the road. So someone I deeply trust to work on my car, because he got me back on the road, and I swear to God, I stomp on the brakes and my car stops. Something that we really want. Not only do we want to stomp on the gas and go, we want to be able to stomp on the brakes and stop. So with that, please give John Cannon a hand for his My Car Care tip.
Ryan makes me sound really good, but I'll tell you my secret on how we were able to do that on a Friday afternoon with no notice is because Ryan had brought his vehicle to us before, and we had been able to tell, and this was months ago, and I was able to know, hey, you're going to need brakes coming up soon. So as soon as I got that text, I went, I know exactly what you need, because I recommended it months ago. So I knew what was going on there. All right, so now for my Cardoc moment. I firmly believe that trust is a matter of choice. You simply choose in a moment whether you're going to trust someone, and then you act accordingly. Now, whether that person is of a different race than you or a different sex from you, maybe they're a person of authority like a police officer or a boss, it's up to you to decide how you want to treat that person, ultimately. Now, admittedly, a lot of factors go into making that decision, most of which are your previous experiences. There is one group of people that no one seems to trust, though, no matter their race, age, sex, or any other personal factor that they possess. Used car salespeople. I once worked for a car dealership, and I struck up a conversation with someone in the lobby who was obviously agitated and very unhappy. Walked up to him to find out what I could do to help. I asked what was wrong and what I could do to help, and he explained that he and his wife were in the midst of purchasing a vehicle from a salesman, and he was absolutely hating the experience. When he told me who the salesman was, I nodded my head, instantly understanding. Everyone at the dealership agreed. That guy was an asshole. He then shocked me, though, by admitting that this is the third car he had purchased from this salesman throughout the years. I asked him why in the world would he willingly walk into a combative sales experience over and over again. He shrugged and replied, "He's the devil I know." Do you understand what just happened? He was willing to put himself and his wife into a horrible experience rather than deal with the unknown. People are more scared of the unknown than they are of you, no matter what scary or awful or how incorrect their perception may be of you. Outside of our education and our home, our vehicles are the most expensive thing that we spend money on. When we go to college, we research the school, we take a tour, we make sure they have the amenities we want, and so on. When we purchase a home, we get it inspected, we walk through it looking for damage, we check the schools, we check the roof, we make sure it's exactly what we want. And yet, I cannot even begin to guess how many people have walked into the clinic and said these very words, "Hey, my check engine light is on, my car is running rough, and I just bought this car last month." They bought a used vehicle without having it inspected first and are just now finding out that the used car salesperson had the check engine light shut off, or they did some really shady thing to get the car to seem like it was okay just to make the sale. The dealership pawned off a vehicle on an unsuspecting buyer, saying whatever needed to be said just to make the sale and get the car down the road. In fact, just this week, this is a true story, just this week a client told me that when he test drove his car, it didn't seem to shift right between second and third. He said something to the dealer about it before he bought the car. And the dealership told him, these cars are like that. The transmissions on them are a little funny. True story. Guy still bought the car. For the next 4 or 5 years, he's going to be paying on a car and waiting on the day that that transmission finally dies and leaves him stranded somewhere on the side of the road. There are thousands and thousands of similar experiences like this out there. It's blatantly obvious why no one trusts used car salesmen. They've earned it. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to trust them. There are 3 words that you need to know to make sure that you're not buying a rolling piece of garbage, and that's pre-purchase inspection. Now, I know technically pre-purchase is 1 word, and that's only 2 altogether, but people tend to skip over the most important part. Pre. Once you buy it, that car is yours. That problem is yours. However, a good mechanic can help prevent you from making a horrible financial decision. So trust us. We're here to help.
Awesome. Thank you, John. So we are now to the part of our program this evening where we pick someone out of the audience to interview them. Pavithri has the ticket box here, and she's going to pull us a winner and read the number off. So make sure you got your orange tickets ready. Who's our winner tonight?
563512.
Who do we got? All right, Michelle, come on up.
Come on up.
Come on up here and grab the microphone, and let's get you an interview. So we've met a couple of times, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to act like we've never met before. So could you please tell us your name and the business you're with?
Yes, my name's Michelle Walpe, and I'm with DigBridge.
Awesome. And tell everyone what DigBridge is and what you do.
We are a full-service marketing agency, and we offer ROI measurability on all of our touch points, which is different than a lot of other marketing agencies.
So rather than just film some content and throw it to the wolves, you're able to help them calculate what that content is doing for them.
Yes.
Awesome. So what's your favorite thing about what you do?
Meeting all the new people I get to meet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And so what did you do previously in your career before you came to DigBridge?
I did several things. I was a landscape designer for 15 to 20 years. I was a teacher at Ball State in urban planning, and then I fell into marketing when the economy crashed in 2008. So I've been doing marketing and teaching ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so what is the perfect type of customer that you love working for? If there's someone that you could just close your eyes and describe a picture perfect client, who is that?
Well, right now we're trying to find clinical research in companies like pharmaceutical companies, healthcare facilities, that kind of thing.
Awesome. And Michelle, how can someone get a hold of you if anything that you talked about is relevant to them and they want to continue the conversation?
Reach out to me. You can go to the DigBridge website. You can reach out to me via text or phone.
Awesome.
Yep.
What is your phone number?
317-989-3773. And I'm also on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Well, Michelle, thank you very much for being our guest this evening, and everyone give her a big hand.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right. So now it is time to introduce, well, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I tend to do that. Let's thank our leaders again this evening, Pavithri, Ray, and John, for helping make this event successful. The Northside Events and Social Club, KPSK Consulting, John Ciano with U.S. Health Advisors, Carol Blackman, real estate agent in Indiana and Florida. Can't forget my car doc. The Tax Advantage, Image Inc., Golden Heart Senior Care, and RM Media. Give them all a big hand, please. Okay, so now that I've not gotten ahead of myself and the screen's telling me what to do, it is time to introduce our 9-minute speaker this evening. So Jennifer and I met pretty early on in my networking career. In fact, she used to have a meeting here in this building, and I remember attending that group. And I think that was the first time we really got to have a conversation. But Jennifer Johnson is the founder of TTR Networking, which is celebrating 14 years this year. That's like a lifetime in business. She is a gratitude sharing expert with promptings powered by send-out cards. They also have brownies. I've been the recipient of those brownies a few times over the years. You don't expect to get them in the mail, but when baked goods come in the mail, it's never a bad day. Jennifer is also a professional singer and has performed for more years than she can count. She is happily married to her best friend, Philip, a grandmother to 4 beautiful grandchildren.
And this next slide I added in because Jennifer didn't bother to say the rest of it.
Uh-oh. So I would like to take the liberty to add here that Jennifer has the biggest heart and gives more than she knows. Yeah?
Yeah. And
So Jennifer and I, over the last 4 years here, have built a pretty good collaborative partnership because while we both host events that bring people together, there's always an opportunity to work together. Most folks are members of more than one organization, and that's because each organization adds a different value that helps us enhance our business. Both of us focus here on the folks in Central Indiana, and many of you in this room are part of both of our organizations and attend each of our events, including one that we have coming up this Friday that we're going to share more about at the end of her talk. So everyone, please give a big hand to Jennifer Johnson.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, stand right here. All right, first, I want to say thank you to Ryan and InspireSmall.biz for the opportunity to share my thoughts today. I am truly, truly grateful. But I have to be honest that it wasn't 24 hours before you reached out to me, Ryan, that I had just told my husband I wasn't going to take any new projects until 2025. The holidays, now I have to be honest, the holidays are very busy for me. And my music starts now. I mean, we're rehearsing and everything. But when you shared that the theme was trust, literally a feeling of relief came over me. I got this. Everybody trusts me. I mean, come on. Heck, I could teach a master class on trust. That's what I thought anyway. Ryan, and I know you wouldn't have asked me to do it if you didn't trust me to do it with my whole heart. I didn't even expect that. So I accepted, and then I decided to see how my good friend Google defined trust. That was my first thing. This is what I found. Okay, this is the definition. Firm belief in the reliability or strength of someone or something. Confidence. Pretty simple, right? Well, I thought about it for a few minutes and I decided I needed to dig a little further. I felt like something was missing. What I found is that trust has hundreds of definitions. I realized that this word is not as simple as I thought. It's just like an onion, had many, many layers. And everything that I read about was a matter of trust. According to the Harvard Business Review, now, believe me, I'm giving you this information so you can kind of digest it, and then I'll tell you what I think, okay? Trust is the basis for most everything we do. It's the foundation on which our laws and contracts are built. It's the reason we're willing to exchange our hard-earned paychecks for foods and services, to pledge our lives to another in marriage, and to cast a ballot for someone who will represent our interests. It's also the input that makes it possible for leaders to create the conditions for employees to fully realize their own capacity and power. Trust is a big deal. I found words like reliability, dependability, consistency, transparency, if I can say it, accountability, and empathy. But number one, communication is number one. It's key. Brene Brown, not Bernie Brown, Brene Brown, American professor who is known for her podcasting and her work on shame, vulnerability, and courage, defines trust as this. And this is one that I think I agree with the most. Choosing to make something important to you vulnerable to the actions of someone else. No vulnerability, no trust, no risk, there's no trust. I encourage you to look up Brene Brown. She has 7 pillars of trust, the acronym BRAVING. Check it out. Okay, we got to go on. All right, so I want you to think for a minute. Social trust, traffic. Think about traffic for a minute. Our survival, literally, our survival depends on others who believe what we believe. Traffic works because everyone has a self-interest in following the rules. We believe that, right? We hope, everybody, that everyone out there is going to follow the rules for their own personal safety. Then there's personal trust between individuals, friends, family, referral partners, spouses. It may surprise you, but I haven't always been the polished professional woman you see in front of you today. You're supposed to laugh, that's fine. I grew up, it's absolutely fine. I grew up in a very dysfunctional home. My parents, who did what they thought they were supposed to do, got married very young because I was on the way. And they were just never happy. In addition, I spent years being bullied at school. Sorry, that's a story for another day. That's a whole other presentation. But suffice it to say that many of the people in my world let me down over and over again. Few were reliable, consistent, transparent, or accountable. And I grew up really not trusting too many people. Yes, it was a lonely existence, and it's pathetic when I tell the story. It really wasn't so bad, though, because one day, my knight in shining armor, Philip Johnson, rode in and saved the day. I just want you to get that vision, because he truly did. As the damsel in distress, I wasn't sure what to make out of this guy that came in. I really liked him, and I thought he was funny, happy, reliable, authentic, consistent, vulnerable, and you know what? He really wanted to know about me. He listened to me. He was genuinely interested in me and my dreams. Transparent, accountable, always prepared. Oh, I want to just throw that in there because the always prepared part, he is one of the few Eagle Scouts, if you're familiar with Eagle Scouts, from the little town that we lived in. As far as I know, he's still one of the only 2 or 3. So if you can find an Eagle Scout, I'll just tell you that always prepared part. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I learned how to trust from a master. Communication has been the number one thing in our relationship. We always have to kind of work at it. And he hung in there. And after 36 years of marriage, I can honestly say that every day is a gift, and I trust him with my whole being. Yes, he does have faults. All these ladies that think he's perfect, he's not. Okay, he does have faults. I'm sorry, he does. But, I've actually, because he's trusted me, he gave me such a great relationship that I have actually been accused by some of the people in my circles of being too trusting and too nice. I am actually working on that every day, Pavi 3. Okay. Anyway, so what does that all mean to us here today? I really want everybody to think about this for a minute. Why did I share all that? Well, we're all here with a common goal of meeting new people, sharing our businesses, and learning from each other. We are networking, which is not throwing your business card in every new face you see and adding some clever line about how your product or service is the best that they can get. But it is cultivating mutually beneficial, trusting, give and take relationships. I want to take a few seconds here just to tell you that you people, I applaud you because you have stuck to your guns no matter what this crazy world has done for the 4 or 5 years that we've been dealing with this. I applaud you. And my wish for you is that you find your knight in shining armor, whether it be your spouse, a group of friends, your church, whoever it is. Find somebody you can trust. And the go-giver, Bob, yeah, you're right there. Bob Berg, in his Endless Referrals, we've referred to it tonight a number of times. We are most likely to do business with those we know, like, and trust. Knowing and liking aren't too hard. I mean, we can go into a whole different story about that. But building trust, as we've discussed this evening, takes time. And sorry, Philip, but in some cases, it takes 36 years. I love you very much. But in an instance, it can be destroyed. We have all met our share of trust villains. You know what they do. They're dishonest. They're inconsistent. They break promises. I have learned to recognize them. Trust is at an all-time low in this globe. There are so many reasons why. But let's just say, with the pandemic, people changed everything, how they communicate, how they purchase. No matter how much some of us dislike the virtual world, it isn't going away. The good news is, I've only got a few seconds, and I want to make sure you all know, you have to work more at everything you used to do. It still works. You just have to work harder. So I just want you to know, gratitude. Thank people. Make sure they know how you feel. That's what it's all about. I can't believe we ran out of time. I want to throw this in there, though. This is my final. It's not just a matter of trust, but trust is the matter of everything. Okay, can I leave with that? All right, thank you. That was fun. You're coming up.
You hit that on the nose. You
yeah,
really
but I
did.
had a lot more to talk.
Everyone give Jennifer a big hand for her presentation.
Thank you.
And for Marty and Spencer, all three speakers tonight were incredible. Now, Jennifer and I are both standing up here because there's an event coming up this Friday that Jennifer is hosting. I'm honored to be a part of it with TTR Networking here. And it's called Fun Fridays, right? This Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning, right? Yeah. Yeah. Please tell everyone about the event, because I was at the last one. It was a ton of fun. Oh, Ray, can you give Jennifer some juice, please? There we go. Yeah, you can project good. It is?
It's Friday morning, and we're going to be at Cohatch down on Lewis Street. And even if you haven't registered, we'd still love to have you come. But we would like you to register. There's pages on the table. And yes, and this week we're actually, somebody's calling me. Diversity just happens to be the subject this week, but it is more than just talking about diversity. You get to meet a bunch of people, and we have a nonprofit that we always do a networking for a cause. This Friday it's 100 Black Men. And we're really excited. One of our members has been a leader in that organization for years, right? And then we get to have a presenting partner with InspireSmall.biz, and thank you for that. We'd love to have you come. It's free. You do get goodies you can take with you, and most of our our global partners and sponsors have some door prizes too, so it works out. Is that what you want?
And it's at Cohatch.
It's
just
Cohatch.
off of 16th Street.
Yes. Cohatch off of, yes.
So everyone join us bright and early this Friday morning at the Cohatch down off 16th Street for a great event, and I hope you can join us. So Jennifer, thank you very much for continuing to work with us. Make sure to stay tuned, because we're doing another event together with Denise Prawl with Whiteboard Learning as well. It'll be the 3rd annual Tricks to Make Networking a Treat. So I can't believe that's coming up already. So stay tuned. Lots more events that we're working on together. So Jennifer, thank you very much for everything that you do and for the opportunity that we could keep working. So it sounds like you got to take a call now.
I got to take a call. They won't hang up. I don't know what's wrong. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Awesome. Everyone, make sure to join us again in this room next month, September 18th. We're going to do this again where our topic is clarity. So we have trust this month. Next month is clarity. We have more topics coming up the rest of the year. 3rd Wednesday of every month. Make sure it's on your calendar here. The Bright Ideas Show happens. Some other events that are coming up tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock p.m. We have the next Connections and Conversation. That's at the Total CBD store at Pendleton Pike and Sunnyside Road. Many of you know Steve Bono. He's the owner of that shop. He has kindly opened up his space for us to invade and have a good afternoon of networking. Also, 1 week from today, if you've ever wanted to be up here on this stage and give a presentation, make sure to stop by our office August 28th from 5:30 to 7:30. We're doing open auditions. So that gives everyone an opportunity to come in, share whatever story it is you'd like to share, and we're going to match you with a topic that best fits what you want to talk about. So that is 1 week from today. And finally, we have more events, more than I can remember. So remember this website, www.inspiresmall.biz/events. You're going to see the events that we're hosting. You're also going to see the events that our members post on the website. So lots of good opportunities to get to know others and make new connections and keep building your business. Speaking of which, before you leave this room tonight, make sure you connect with somebody that you haven't met before. Networking events of any kind are not effective unless we're going out and making those new connections. So I invite you, set a follow-up meeting, a cup of coffee, lunch, something. Get to know somebody new. Let's keep our businesses growing. Thank you very much for being a part of this event this evening. And I'm sorry, Pavithri, we need to draw another ticket here, because had John not reminded me, I'd have forgot. So what I have here in my pocket is a goldish coin. And this is courtesy of my car doc. It is for $20 off of your service. And Pavithri is going to draw a winner. So who do you got?
563-517.
All right, 517 is the last three. Check those tickets. Oh, no, come on. Everyone out here looks asleep. Check those tickets.
There we go. We got a winner.
All right, give her a hand. All right. Oh, sorry, those wires just sneak right up on you. Here you go. Congratulations. Thank you. Everyone, thank you very much for attending the Bright Ideas Show tonight. I hope you'll join us next time and enjoy the rest of your evening.